Okay, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. We are trying a second attempt at our first live stream, and here at the last minute, we literally had to make some more changes. So you guys know right away that we need to know how the sound is coming through, because we had a lot of problems with it yesterday. So please let us know right away if the sound is coming through much better than yesterday. There was a storm that came through, and we had a terrible signal. And so, but today, hey, we hope everything is much better. So let us know if the sound is okay. Sounds great, Frosty says. Okay. Thanks, Frosty.
Keep going up. Let's just make sure.
Man, last night,
sound.
Way better than yesterday. Jersey John, thank you. I just got a text. All is good. So guess what we had to do, though? We had to jump on the cell phone right quick.
Yeah.
Because I've tested this process 3 or 4 times today.
More than that.
Yeah.
More than that.
And then when it came showtime, guys, we played something back real quick. Terrible. Just modern technology. Yeah. Who knows? But the cell phone is working fine. It's a little bit harder for me to work the controls and for us to see the
chat.
For us to see some of the chat. Excuse me. So, hey, listen. If you're new here and you're watching this on the playback, welcome to our channel. Our channel is about motorcycling and RVing. And if that's something you might be interested in, make sure you smash that like button. And we'd love to have you along for the ride.
And for all of our regulars, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining in today.
Yeah. Let's talk about something real quick. Let's get some banners going here, because we need to, just so you know, you see the banner the ticker at the bottom. Make sure you throw a comment in here on the side chat, or if you're on the replay down below, because we want to try to get to some more of your questions, do a better job than we did yesterday, and we can hopefully, let me get Flyboy off of there. And hopefully just have more interaction. So today we want to talk to you guys about a few things that we tried to talk about yesterday, and that was how full-time RV life is going with us. We've been doing this thing for 8 months now.
Right.
And you guys have been right there with us for the most part. So thank you very much. Sandra says the sound is excellent as well. So awesome. Thank you very much, Sandra.
Let's go back to the banners.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so let's get started. How is full-time life treating us so far?
So we're going to talk about the good and then the not so good. And you want me to start off with the good?
Go ahead.
So for me, the good in RV life is, actually just traveling, getting to see, the different and interesting places that I would have not otherwise seen, had I not been doing this. And the other thing is meeting like-minded people. And when I say like-minded people, I'm talking about, other full-timers, listening to their stories, why they went full-timing, how long they've been full-timing, the good, the bad, the not so good, as we're talking about now. And, what I love talking to them about is you get ideas of new places that we've never even heard of. So for me, that's some of my good. What about yours?
Yeah, no question about it. First of all, the RV community is a great community, just like the motorcycling community as a whole. They're just great folks. And certainly those who are not in the RV and motorcycle community are as well. So we are, my favorite, as far as the good goes, that we've experienced is, as Clay mentioned, I love to travel. To be able to see some of the beautiful scenery that we've seen out of this front windshield.
That's right.
And we got some videos coming on that, but just some beautiful places that we've been able to go see and visit. For example, the average person, so one study showed, visits between 8 and 12 states in their lifetime. That's all they visit.
Yeah.
By the time we're finished in the next 60 days, we will have RV'd or camped in or RV'd in 16 states just on this one swing.
That's right.
So we're already doing better than the average person who ever sees. You know what I mean?
That's right. And for me, when we were in the office, you would hear your colleagues talking about, oh, Yosemite, they went to Yellowstone, and all these places. And I'm like, oh, I've never heard of it. Now I've actually done it and have been there. So now I can actually join that conversation, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Exactly. So Kelly was with us last night. Thank you so much for returning. Bless your heart.
Thank you, Kelly.
Well, that was miserable. We've actually taken that video completely down from YouTube because the audio was so poor.
I think when we look back at it and we saw what it looked like, now we understood what you guys was hearing.
Immediately we said, no, that doesn't meet our standard.
Yeah. So thank you guys again for hanging in there last night.
But it is a little tricky on this phone doing this. So.
Yeah. You want to go to the not
so
good?
Oh, no, I wouldn't finish with the good. I haven't got started yet. So first of all, we visited so far 4 national parks.
Yep.
And we have been in states that neither of us have ever been to. I'll give you an example. I've never been in California.
I have.
We spent time in California, time in Oregon, time in Washington, Montana, never been to Montana. Yep, and now last couple of weeks ago in Wyoming, which I've been to Wyoming from the Sturgis Rally, but we RV'd there for a couple of weeks.
Right, I haven't. So,
and maybe it's longer than that. But anyway, I had a great time in Cody, and now we're back in South Dakota, and we got some other plans ahead. So no, the good to me though has literally getting out, meeting people in the RV parks, seeing the different RV parks, and the travel. I just love seeing this beautiful country. And that has just been absolutely wonderful. No question about it.
Yep. So let's talk about, the not so good. And I guess you want to start with the not so good?
Well, let's see. We got a little banner that reminds us that we're supposed to talk about the not so good. And the reason we're saying not so good is because we haven't had, fortunately, in our 8 months, really in our 4 years full of RVing, we haven't had anything bad. Right. I mean, we just haven't. And there's some horror stories out there. And there's some videos showing you some horror stories. But, our RV, this Tiffin bus has been like a tank. We've had no issues with it whatsoever. Over 11,000 miles so far.
That's right. Knock on wood.
We knock on wood. We have not had to turn a wrench or do anything to this bus, but drive it and use it. And we're very, very grateful for that. The camp RV sites we've been to have all worked.
Yep.
Some were better than others, of course, and you get to see that, especially if, as you guys know, we're pulling a 30-foot trailer, and we're about 70 feet long as a whole. So, we've had very, 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 very much success on finding RV spots for this rig.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, we just haven't had anything bad happen. But the not so good would be the number one thing for me is I have missed my family back in the Georgia, Alabama area. All my family's on the East Coast, and we left the East Coast, and we won't be back for about 8 months, right? So some of those months have already gone by, of course. Yes. But so that's the one thing. It's not. I've missed family. Now that's due to our planning, though, Clay. Right. So we plan to come out here and do a big loop. Where next year we may be more on the East Coast. Right. So we could see family a little bit more. Yeah. And then how about you now?
Well, for me, it's not. I wouldn't say family. Of course, I miss my family, but my family. I mean, we're in Georgia, and Daryl's family is in Georgia. My family is in Connecticut and in Trinidad. So I've been away from them. So for me, it's always Zoom or FaceTime or on the phone, and that's every day. So I talk to them. I get to talk to them every day. I get to see them a lot. Anyway, I'm not there. So I wouldn't say for me, it's more of missing family, but I would tell you, 3 of my not so goods. And one of them is, with traveling, when we go to different places, sometimes I will miss out on the ride because again, I'm working full time. So Daryl would go for a ride, to see the place, and I would miss out on that. And while we're on the topic of working, I hate to say the word hate, but I do not like traveling on work days. And sometimes I have to, right? Because it depends on where we're going and how far we're traveling. It will be on a work day. And because the issue there is sometimes I will have to jump on a Zoom call. And what we find ourselves doing, sometimes we're in an area where we have no service and we're scrambling to find an area where I can find service. Yeah. And once we get there, some of these calls can run 2 hours. I mean, there were times when we were parked at the side of the road. Literally, I'm on a Zoom call for hours, and he would get frustrated. But
I tell you, I'm sitting there thinking, man, we could be putting miles down, and we're sitting on this off ramp while Clay does his Zoom call.
Right.
Now, again, remember that's why we're not saying bad. That's not a big problem. I mean, it's a good problem to have. First of all, Clay gets to travel while she works.
While I work, right.
Yeah, so I mean that's a blessing in itself.
That's right.
But I'm sitting there chomping at the bits, like Clay, hurry up, because I'm ready to get there, or not, at least put some miles down. So
yeah, and what I would do while I'm on the call, I'll start talking about everyday life and like it.
Yeah, once they're done with business, it's like, hey man, let's cut that call off. We have places to go. So.
Right. And then one of my real not so good is, and this is for the ladies out there. So, at the house, what we did is we took a bedroom and we turned it into a closet for me. Yeah. So think about a closet that was already overstuffed, and a good sized closet because it was a bedroom, and compressing that down to this RV, closet here that I'm actually sharing space with.
Well, listen, there's a joke. Our family and friends refer to Clay as Tina Turner. Tina Turner would be envious of Clay's closet back at the house that we had. So yeah, she did have to sacrifice. And she says I share a closet with her. Let's be honest, guys. I have about this much room in that closet, and the few drawers I do have, half of her stuff is in there. Okay, so
well, hey, I sacrifice. So,
but I'm not complaining. I don't need a whole lot. We have a washer and dryer on here. I need 2 or 3 things and keep them washed, and I'm good to go. So I'm all right. I'm all right.
So that's just my not so good. One of your not so good is that he likes to, every time we go to a campground, he wants to make sure that his RV is like sparkling clean, and except for 2 parks that we've been to, everywhere else has been gravel and dust. So as you can imagine, not a happy camper.
And when you're out in Arizona, New Mexico, parts of California, Oregon, even though Oregon and Washington rained the whole time.
Right.
So it did. So yeah, but that has been tough. One other thing that's not so good, if you start to full time, those of you that may be thinking about it or even doing it, you can add to this. But you have to have a place to stay every single night. Right. I mean, you've got to be booked somewhere, or you're going to be in a rest area or a Cabela's or a Cracker Barrel, and which we've done. But so I'm always looking at the calendar trying to find gaps where we don't have a spot here for these days, right?
Yeah.
So that's not bad. Again, that's why we're saying it's not so. It's just on you. You have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we going to be on these dates? On this time. So
and then too, again, some of the not so good. I think one of the not so good, like, it's not bad, but everybody knows here about gas prices, so you can imagine, and we have 150.
I'm glad you bring that up. We have 120 more days before it'll be our year anniversary of being full time.
Yep.
We're going to do a video on the cost, of what it cost us, and I know that varies with families and people. It varies. I'm convinced we could have done this first year cheaper, but we didn't. So, but we'll definitely give those numbers out, and those numbers will be including campgrounds or RV parks, fuel, and other things. Because a lot of times when you feel like you're on vacation for a year, you have a tendency to spend more money on restaurants and gifts and just things, so we'll be doing that in another 4 months or so. There'll be a video on that. Yep. So yeah.
So you want to ask about the?
Let's see. Another thing we want to know. This is actually the next question.
Yeah. So we wanted to know if you own an RV, a motorcycle, or if you don't own either. And the reason that we're asking that question, if you want to pull up that other banner, is we're asking that question because we want to know what type of videos you would prefer to see on the channel, because we've had people ask about, just they want to see more riding videos. Then you have some people that want to see more RV videos. And then some people, they just want to see, want us to do the campgrounds, to show us to show you guys the campgrounds where we're staying. Yeah. So tell us what type of videos would you prefer to see? More riding, more RV, more campgrounds? So.
And that's, and Clay brings up a good point, guys. And I want to tell folks who are watching live, and those who are watching on the replay, our motorcycle rides are typically very scenic places to go. So I want you to understand this, guys. If you see the ride through Yellowstone National Park, Man, let me tell you, that's a beautiful ride in a car, dune buggy, or motorcycle. You're going to love it, right?
Right.
The Valley of Fire that was just outside of Las Vegas. That's a motorcycle ride that we just do it on motorcycles because it's more fun. But the Redwoods.
Yeah.
I mean, go through the Redwoods in a car, and it's beautiful.
Well, I didn't do the Redwoods. He did it on a
Right,
motorcycle, but it
right.
was gorgeous.
But you get my point. My point is, don't click off. I had one guy when I did a ride in New Mexico. One subscriber said, "I'm not interested in that," and I want to say, time out. Look at the beauty that you'll see, and you'll want to drive your car there. I hope y'all understand what I mean. So our motorcycle videos are not just typically riding down the interstate.
Yeah.
It's typically very scenic things that the Badlands, for example. I took last year, David and I with Bill and Andy, a bunch of other folks, we took a ride through the Badlands on bikes. Loved it. A couple of days ago, Clay and I rode through in the car. Yep. She loved it. I loved it. That's what I mean.
Gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So I didn't go on that ride. If you guys remember that video, I did not go on that ride. But I tell you, we went in the car and it was absolutely gorgeous. So no matter what you're driving or riding, it's still a gorgeous view. Yeah,
no doubt. So the next topic we wanted to cover is if any of you guys who are watching or even on the repeat, how many of you guys might be coming to the Sturgis Rally? Because we certainly would love to bump into you guys and maybe even meet y'all. Let's see, I got something here. And that is that if you see the ticker at the bottom, should we even do a meetup?
Yeah.
And we're not offended if there's not a lot of interest. Trust me, we're not. But last year we did a meetup at the Stonehouse.
And it went very well. It was so good to meet some of you guys. Goodness. I can't even tell you. It was so good. And we were so happy. I don't even know how to express myself. It was so good to see people come out and, just meet us.
Take the time to watch your stuff.
The time. Yeah. So
and actually enjoy it.
We love you guys. We really appreciate it.
No doubt about it. And our videos, we sort of this is how we look at our videos, guys. It's got to be informative. First of all, it's got to provide information to the viewer, or why else would you want to watch it? At the very least, it's got to be fairly entertaining. So there was a time when we didn't make a lot of videos and people said, why aren't you making more videos? Well, because I hadn't done anything that I thought you'd want to see. So in other words, it has to meet a couple of criteria for us to start saying, listen, I want to do a video on this for the folks who may not be able to go ride the Valley of Fire. Right. For the folks, I got family who've never been to Yellowstone.
That's right.
That video was important to me, right? And I hope it was important to a lot of folks who say, I've never been to Yellowstone. I like what I just saw.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So so keep that in mind. That's one reason sometimes we've not pushed out a lot of videos, is because it's got to be something that we think that would be good to do. Let me say it that way, okay? So you see at the bottom, should we do a meetup? Let us know in the chat. We're going to cut over to the chat in just a minute. And real quick, just to let you know, you see that ticker at the bottom. We are going to be, just give you a heads up, coming for the rest of the year, we're going to be at the Four Corners Rally in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that. Been to Colorado, but never to the Four Corners Rally.
If anybody's going to be there, it'd be nice to meet up.
Yeah, exactly right. Then we're going to be at the Stubborn American in Oklahoma. That's Adam Sandoval's rally. Then we're going to be in Biketoberfest in Daytona Beach, Florida, which will only be my 26th consecutive year of being in Daytona. But I live in Georgia, so
and guys, he has a T-shirt for every year, so you can imagine how many old T-shirts we have.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Jeez.
All right, so listen. What else did we cover? Everything there?
I think we did, and you were talking about riding Valley of the Gods, and
yeah. Once we get to Colorado, guys, watch for this, okay? Once we get to Colorado, let me turn this one off, guys. I'm doing this on a little iPhone, so bear with me. Once we get to Colorado for the Four Corners Rally, we are going to ride the Valley of the Gods. Wait till you see that ride. I've already done some research on that, and Bill and Andy would be with us, of course, and we're going to, I look so forward to that ride. And we're also going to hit Moab, Utah, while we're in Colorado. That's in that section. Because we're in Colorado for, I think, a month. Yeah. Somewhere around a month.
And he can't help himself when he says Valley of the Gods.
Valley of the Gods.
He never says it.
You just got to say it that way, right? Jeez. I mean, that's how you get it. So look at Valley of the Gods. And I bet she's saying it in my voice right now. I bet you are. So let's see what else we got. Okay, so I think we kind of covered who Gilbert. Oh man, I see you both have an RV.
In 2018.
Road glide. Been driving 18-wheelers for 35 years, man. That's all right. I think
That's the Gilbert, right?
Was that Gilbert mentioned last night? $3,000 a week that he was spending on fuel.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, thank you very much,
Gilbert. Thank you very much.
That's very kind of you, man.
Yes.
Lordy mercy, that's awesome.
Down?
Yeah, that's very, very awesome, man. Look at Valley of the Gods. Hey, the name sounds so cool. You got to go ride it. You know what I mean? You just
Somebody said about Biketoberfest. So
it's Rat Fink. Oh yeah, old Rat Fink is here. Awesome, man.
So awesome. You guys staying at
who's that? Oh,
Rat Fink.
You guys staying? No, we're going to be staying. You know where we're staying this year, Rat Fink, for Biketoberfest and Bike Week already for next year. To be honest with you,
at Rossmine,
is
right?
That it's
Sun.
It's the campground Rat Fink right beside Rossmeyer's Harley Davidson.
Yep.
Sun
Holiday
Sun or something like that. But you know what I'm talking about. It's the big one right there beside the Harley Davidson. So let's see. Did we miss any? Guys, what we want to do now, we've sort of covered our topics. We want to sort of start going through
some of your questions.
Questions. And my interest is in RVing, campgrounds only. Motorcycle rides are okay, but I find myself fast forwarding through the video.
So I
understand.
He's definitely an RVer.
I get it,
RV.
Craig. Thank you for your comment,
Thank
man.
you,
I certainly get it. Let's see now. This is
right there.
Where was now, Clay, you got to help me out. Hey, man.
Okay.
No. That's Tom. Oh, I know.
Hello,
That's my brother
Thomas.
Thomas right there. Hey, by the way, Thomas, are you coming to Sturgis this year? Let me know. Let me know if you're coming. I want to. I met you a couple of years ago, or last year maybe, or year before. You got to help me out with that one right there.
Okay, so Joseph.
That's my brother. That's my dear friend from Brazil.
So Josephine, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And he's saying hi and good afternoon.
Yeah, he is. His English is much better than my Portuguese. I can tell you that.
Right.
So we communicate back and forth. But he's learning English and doing really well.
And I know very little Spanish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
okay, right here. So Jersey John is asking, hey guys, my wife and I are about to start full time. Since you've done it for a few months so far, curious if you could tell your former self to do something different. What would that be?
Good question. Very good question.
That's a great question, Jersey
And
John.
I think the biggest thing is, and we mentioned this in one of our videos back, our RV, the momentum was in the shop when we went full time. You remember, It's been 8 months ago, but when we literally sold the house, the RV was still in the shop because the RV repair was it was something with the paint on the momentum. It had a problem with some of the pinstriping, whatever. It was only supposed to take 2 weeks. It took 4. So for 2 weeks, we stayed in Flyboy, my brother's Class C motorhome in his driveway because our house was sold. So it's like, man, make sure you have an RV to move into is the number one thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. But then I think one of the other things that, going back to our former selves, I think one of the things that we would do differently is we bought a gas job in the beginning. And I think if we had gone to a diesel in the beginning, we would not have gone through. This is our third, as most of you guys know who follow us, this is our third RV. And, our first one was a gas job. So again, one of my girlfriends, her dad, she's Filipino. So her dad called us and actually stayed on the phone for about an hour and a half with us trying to find out things that they should do differently. And the one thing we told him is go with a diesel. If you can't afford it, go with a diesel because, the gas job, like Daryl would say, ours rode like a hay wagon and we can only speak for hours.
And yet, but you know what? We thought it rode well. Until we drove this one.
Exactly.
It's like, I didn't have anything to compare the Tiffin, the V10 to. Now, if you have a V10, man, love it, enjoy it. It's a lot less expensive. Nowadays everything's expensive, right? But this diesel pusher, and you may have just said this. I was reading some questions here. Had we got this to begin with, we never would have traded.
I don't think we would have ever traded. So,
that's how good this thing drives.
Yeah, that's one of the things you want to think about. I would look at the diesel pusher.
I want you to see. I want to ask Ralph and Kim if you guys are going to be at Sturgis this year too. We met you guys last year. They were at the meetup last year.
Oh yeah, okay. Good to see you guys. Right here. Yeah. Do you use a tugger at all to move your trailer?
Well, I'm not even. I think I know what a tugger is, but because I'm not sure, no, we haven't had to yet. We've only had to disconnect our trailer. What, Bill and Andy? Maybe 3 times since we've been on this 7 or 8 month trip.
Right.
And I don't think in Colorado and Oklahoma we even have to do that there.
Right.
So we've been fortunate. No, we haven't used a tugger. I think I know what you're talking about, something that moves your trailer for you. Yeah.
No.
So no, we haven't had to do that
Yeah.
as of yet. All right, let me come back up here and look around at
so elegant lady, good to see you.
I spoke to I saw her. I showed her
What
video a while
type of
ago.
unit did you get?
This right here is our friend Herbie. He's got a Tiffin. I think it's a red, if I'm not mistaken. According to some of his videos, I think it was a red. And of course, Big Dog Bulldog is always very, very involved. Yep. Got another question here, real quick.
Danny V, just saying.
Danny VZ, just keep enjoying your retirement, Chief. I really am. You know, one of our great subscribers commented the other day on a comment to me and said, "Hey, I hope the pressure of YouTube is not getting to you. Yeah. You know, in other words, instead of not messing up your fun." Well, it's not. I'm telling you, because you got to remember, guys. There's a couple of things that a person needs. A person has to have something to do, something to look forward to, and somebody to love. So I've got all three. Creating videos is really a great outlet for somebody who's retired like me, where you're always you can think and create things that just simply wasn't there beginning. And it has your flavor on it. You know what I mean? Like when you see a Sturgis video that'll be coming out, that has Daryl Tollison's flavor in it. That other people may do the same ride, for example.
That's right.
But not the way I do it.
Yeah.
Because so I'm always learning, I'm always studying and trying to get better at our craft, at creating videos that people want to see.
Right. And you tell your story. You tell the story that the way that you want to tell it.
Bottom line is I'm doing exactly as in my retirement, I'm doing exactly what I had visioned myself doing and loving every bit of it. I mean that sincerely. And I do have a wonderful person to love, no question about it, including my precious children and grandchildren. So, all right, let's see a couple more questions I want to get to here.
3,000 a week.
You need to do
and keep up the night, elegant lady said. The $3,000 a week
kept me up last night. Yeah, I remember that comment too, and I thought, wow.
We talked about that last night.
Yes, we did. We did. Yes. We certainly did.
Yeah. So go to Brian.
Brian says what?
I'm Brian. Brian says, when you guys go to Mohave, take a SXS ride. You would love it.
Is that like side by side?
Yeah, I think it's a side by side.
Because we plan to do that. Yeah, we do plan to do that.
Because
I've seen
Brian,
a lot
thank you so much.
Stuff on that. Yeah.
Country bound.
I like this right here. As far as very smart videos, do you. Man, I like that. I like that. Don't make videos for us. Well, I give you an example. That's a very, very take us along. Man, that is very insightful. And here's our philosophy on videos. When we say, hey, do you like RV or motorcycle videos? You're only gonna get two choices with us because that's kind of what we do. Right. So you're exactly right. I never think of, in other words, our YouTube channel, guys, is to capture what we do in life. I don't create life for a video. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that right. In other words, I don't create something just for a video. We do motorcycle rides all the time. We've got some more coming up for y'all. In fact, later this week, please tune in. We're going to do with Bell's Rides, Andy and Bell, where we rode the Iron Mountain Road pre-Sturgis. And we're going to also show you some behind the scenes on that, but we're going to do a live on that one. We don't have a date yet because I'm still editing that video. And we had 8 cameras rolling. So,
and a drone going.
Yeah. Just an unprofessional tip. The more cameras you have, the more complicated it gets. So.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because I saw some of those behind the scenes and I tell you.
Yeah. But I do like that comment, man. I do appreciate that. And we really do. I mean, we really do. It's what we want to do. We're going to let the videos capture what we do.
Keep going down.
Did I miss anything up here?
Yeah, just let's keep scrolling up. Let's see.
Let me start.
And guys, just bear with us because again, we're on the cell phone.
On a little iPhone here.
So let's. Jeff is back. Here we go, Jeff. Wife and I will be at Sturgis.
Oh, awesome. Wife
and I will be at Sturgis, staying at Rapid City RV Park.
I know where that is. Jeff. Yeah. We need to get together and take a ride, man. Yes, indeed.
Now, Horizon.
I like your videos when you two.
I like because you too.
Well, down to earth. Well, we appreciate that, and I appreciate all the comments that you guys always leave.
Thank you, Horizon.
Yes, just wonderful folks, man. All right, we want to make sure.
Takes a lot
back of my first RVs. Okay, Earl, that's good to know.
Okay.
I like what Jim. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, J.M. Baker. I appreciate that, man. And our videos do take, I'm telling you, and I don't know if it's because I'm not good or if I'm a little bit older than most of these young people that I learned from, but editing the videos, some of these videos, takes me, I mean, I know I put 60 hours in the sun.
Or more.
Yeah.
Or more.
And make no mistake, guys, YouTube's, and all I get, YouTube's ads really don't, I don't even do it for the money. So that's all I do for the most part is we make a little money from the ads, which is not much. Yeah. So I just love it, man. But so
Elegant Lady's asking,
thank you though.
Just one night in a whole year qualifies you for domicile in South Dakota, she's asking.
That's correct. You're absolutely correct. That's one reason we came to South Dakota. One of the reasons we came to South Dakota to domicile. The biggest reason I think though was insurance.
Well, it was insurance. So we looked at Florida, we looked at Texas and Florida. If anybody knows, about Florida, the insurance there, and I'm in insurance, so I know the insurance there is absolutely ridiculous. So, and then Florida had some requirements too that we didn't necessarily like. And in Texas, I think the one thing in Texas you had to have
for our size rig and weight.
You had to have a CDL license. So, South Dakota, again, the requirement was one night in South Dakota. So you can't beat that, right?
Man, look at Big Dog.
Big Dog Bulldog. Thank you so much.
Is that coming up on the screen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Hold on a second.
No, that's only you can see that. Okay. So next.
Oh, Kelly was talking about, we just had a good meeting with the chief of Sturgis. Yeah. And, I was curious about that. In fact, Kelly, I asked the chief if they run a joint operations center during this rally, and actually not here in Sturgis, but they run one in Rapid City. Yeah. And it's a rock called the Rally Operations Center. And here's why. This rally is so large that it takes up so much more. Sturgis is a small part of this rally. Yeah. We spend very little time in Sturgis, actually. We spend a couple times we'll shoot down there, but there's so much to see out here that's not in Sturgis. So that's why they have a statewide rock rally operations center. Yeah. But I don't want to go to Rapid City, because I was going to get some film of that if they would let me. But the chief was wonderful to meet with us. In fact, I'm supposed to be doing a ride with the chief on August 3rd, right before the rally began. So
now I wish a lot of you guys can come out here, because again, this is not even just about the rally. Like, we have been here now for 3 weeks, and we've gone to so many places, and it's so many, like Mount Rushmore, and you have Hill City, you have Devil's Tower in Wyoming, which is right up the street from where we're staying. There's so many things to do. So when you come here for the Sturgis Rally, everybody's not in Sturgis. It looks like it, but everybody is not in Sturgis per se. They're like all over. And I swear, when you go to these places, there is motorcycles everywhere. If all these people were just to come and gather in Sturgis, I don't think Sturgis couldn't handle that.
Yeah. So, and this is not all about Sturgis. This live stream is not, but keep in mind when they say that the chief mentioned this, 700,000 people or 500,000 people come. Now, Sturgis does have traffic counters at their city limits. Right. So they do count traffic who come. So over the 10-day rally, 400,000 or 500,000 people will come to Sturgis, or at least through Sturgis, right? Right. But they're so spread out. It's like Clay said. I mean, we will go to Devil's Tower in Wyoming. It's packed. And that's 50, 60, 70, 80 miles away. And then you go to Hill City. From Sturgis. Yeah, from Sturgis. So my point is, it's a very, very large enterprise out here, no question about that. So
John is asking, has the Ford ever let you down ever when RVing?
No,
never. Never. That was a new truck.
It was our first diesel pickup truck. Yeah. F-350. And I'm telling you, I was thinking about that truck last night because Josh asked me from Canada if I missed it. And I missed the truck because, man, it was a hoss. And it handled that big toy hauler. Without a truck like that, I'd have been afraid to almost pull that toy hauler. Yeah, with the size that it was and the weight and everything in it. So that 350 was amazing. I just loved it, man. Absolutely loved it. All right. We saw this one right here. Stu was talking about Campground Reviews. Yep. Because we slacked off on that lately. So it's good to know that some folks have, because we've been doing so many other different things, right? Yeah. Yeah. But I would tell you this. How many times, as we started, when we rode to California, I went to YouTube, just like you guys probably do. I went to YouTube to look at, hey, where's the place to park for the caverns? Badland,
the caverns in New Mexico.
In New Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, somebody had a simple video, nothing really big, a simple video on the KOA in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
Carlsbad
And I told Daryl about doing that the other day, that we need to get back to some of these campground reviews, because again, I think it helps others as well. And it certainly helps us too when we look at other, people's campground review to say, oh yeah, we definitely want to go there and see that. So we're going to get back to doing some, campground reviews, because I personally like it.
No question about it.
So if you want to keep going down.
Yep. Okay. We're going to try to get some more of your questions, and we will go back and read all the comments. See, here's Mike, for example. I prefer motorcycle videos. I get it, man. That's why we try to mix it up, guys. We really do try to mix it up. We try to do, I'm always looking at, okay, we've done 3 RV related videos. We need to put out, because we have a lot of stuff in storage, a lot of videos in storage. But remember, as somebody said earlier, I don't want to spend all of our time editing. So we have a lot of motorcycle rides in storage, but I try to mix it up, where everybody, because we are one of those channels that's not just exclusively RVing.
That's right.
Or motorcycle.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, but that was by design, because great channel. What do you guys do for a living?
Oh, okay. What do we do for a living? So Daryl's retired.
I'm retired.
I'm the worker. Somebody got to pay for all of this.
Oh, no. Hold on now. Earl, just so you know, I retired from the Atlanta Police Department as a deputy chief with 30 years. I went on at 25, left at 55. And so the city, I love the city of Atlanta. It has a great pension. So I enjoy my pension. And Clay is the insurance broker. Go ahead.
I'm an insurance broker. I'm actually, managing principal at my company. So I'm kind of in management, so to speak.
What are you trying to say? You do pretty well. Is that what you're trying to say? Nicely, humbly? No, I'm kidding.
Let me tell you. Anyway, so but yes, I'm an insurance broker to answer your question. So I am an insurance. I've been doing it for over 25 years. So right out of high school and college, went back and got my MBA, started to go to law school, and just always stayed in insurance. Love insurance. So
I mean, you've been doing this since a kid, but I would tell y'all this, and no kidding. Clay works 12, 14 hours a day around here.
Long days.
Because especially when we're on the West Coast area, because she's based out of Atlanta, so she's on East Coast time.
Yeah, so literally I work East Coast hours and West Coast hours, because I do have East Coast clients, and now I've picked up a few West Coast clients as well. So I do work very, very long days. So that's why sometimes when Daryl go out and explore, he'll go out with Belle and Andy, and I can't go with them because they would leave me sitting in a space and come back with me sitting in the same chair at nighttime sometimes.
And I do want to pimp Clay out just a little bit. There's many times I say, Clay, I need your help on this video. She'll look at me like, you got to be kidding, right? I've got real work to do.
Right, exactly.
just like tonight on this meetup, she's over here just working away. She goes, and let me tell you, I've heard her. She's been talking all day long.
Yes.
All day long.
Yes.
She's almost like, to me, she reminds me of a stockbroker in a way. She's talking all day long.
Absolutely.
So I said, what time are we doing this? I said, well, 6 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock on the East Coast time. She goes, okay. And she kept right on doing her business. So, by the way, expat. So see, this is why RV videos, campground videos, RV parks are important. Because I'm like you, when we started coming out to the West, I started researching. That's kind of, I think, what a lot of us do.
Absolutely.
I think about it when we talk about doing some motorcycle camping. Yeah, I go to YouTube and start watching people who give me some ideas and show me where to stay.
Well, and that's why I told Daryl the other day, we need to start, doing some more of these, because I do like it. And again, it helps us as well. So I know it helps you guys. Yeah. So Yvonne is saying, please do a meetup.
Now, Yvonne, are you going to be at Sturgis in South Dakota area for the meetup, or are you talking about do a meetup somewhere else? Let us know, okay, in the comments. As Josh, he was here last night, right? Is that the same?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure if that's the same. Yeah, maybe a different one.
Josh. Yeah.
All 4 videos are entertaining and awesome. That's good, man. Brian comments quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking.
I'm heading to Sturgis, South Dakota next, so he's going to be.
Oh, great. Okay, super.
What is Carlene West?
Yeah, I was looking at this is his RV. When we asked folks if they had an RV, he has a Sprinter van. I'm gonna tell you, man. Let me know how you liking that Sprinter van, because down the road, if we downscale or scale down, I like the concept of being.
Could you imagine him in a? No, let me put it this way. Could you imagine me in a Sprinter van?
Oh Lord, no. Okay. Oh, hey, we covered that. We covered that. Yep. I like that, Earl. Earl mentioned that. Earl, he talked about he liked the riding videos earlier. So Jeff and his wife, they're going to be here. Yep. Okay, Jeff is be here. Guys, we're just trying to catch up, and I sure appreciate y'all hanging with us here. I like it. She's
meet up ladies.
Yeah. Horizon, we covered him. I have Scott. Yeah, Scott has a RV. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll be at Kathmandu.
Yeah, Kathmandu Campground on the 1st.
Good.
For 2 weeks. Awesome. I would go to meet up.
Okay, Yvonne's talking about, yeah, okay, in the Southeast, yeah.
Okay, in the Southeast.
Yeah. We covered Ratfink a while ago.
Oh, he was at Biketoberfest. He was asking about Biketoberfest.
That was Ratfink, though. We've already covered. Yeah, he's at, okay, we covered that. Yeah.
So keep going, I think.
In my interest of RV and campground, I think we covered that one too. Let's keep going here. A few of us that know what that is. Yes, indeed. Good to see you, brother. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. All right. As far as what videos, I love this. Yep. Don't make. Okay, we covered that too. I'm sorry. Okay, let me scroll on down here.
Yeah, guys, I think we need to go further down and scroll. Again, we're using an iPhone, so literally we're trying to get to to your questions here.
We covered that already. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see.
Keep going. Where are you guys going to?
Oh, James, where are we going to be in Sturgis? All over, man. Just all over. I'll tell you, if you shoot me an email, anybody's going to be around the area, shoot us an email at tollisonlife@gmail.com. tollisonlife@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We can collaborate that way and release some cell phone numbers perhaps. And so we're going to be all over. We always are. We've already been all over. So
right.
Yeah. Right. So please let us know where you're going to be.
Yeah. And usually for Sturgis, like you said, we're literally all over.
Man, thank you, Danny. It's so awesome, man. So awesome. Haven't seen a bad video yet. Well, I'll tell you why, brother. That's because we have not put some of them out. There's some that I do, and I'll tell Clay, that's not cutting it. Well, the live stream yesterday, horrible. I said, nope.
I know.
Even though just that quick after we shut the live stream off, we had 620 views that quick. I said, nope, that didn't count. I'm sorry.
Guys, we so appreciate you guys staying on and looking, staying on for all through that. We couldn't even stomach it after looking at it. We took it down. So grateful.
And I tell you, and we were deceived because you guys hung in there. Right. I'm thinking it must be better because we still have all these folks watching. It must be better.
Well, at one time we did ask you guys if it was better, and some of you were saying that it was much better. So
yeah, Elkhorn is my spot. At Sturgis Rally. We'll be there, Brian. So we roll in there
next week.
Yeah, we roll. Is it next week?
Yeah, next week. We'll
be there
next week.
Brian. Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Hopefully we get to see you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Diesel on a better frame. It is right frame. This is on a Power Glide chassis actually with independent suspension. Awesome ride. We absolutely love it. Okay, Jersey John's telling us about his RV right here. Fleetwood. Got it.
Nice. Bella's saying what, Brian? You go back down a little bit.
Oh, hold on a second. Oh, Ralph's not gonna make it out here this year.
Oh.
Well, brother, we're gonna miss you guys too, man. You and Kim. It was so good seeing y'all. We just loved y'all. Y'all had such a great personality. We just we're gonna miss you guys. There's a couple other folks that's not making it this year, and we're very sorry. Patty and Mark are not making it.
Patty and Mark is not gonna be here next year.
But hey, that's how it goes. That's life, man. That's life. What are we doing now?
Should sell my home and buy a coach.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, brother, it's not for everybody, right?
Oh,
it's not.
Yeah.
But it's for us for now, and we won't do this forever. But man, I'm having such a great time. I think Clay's having a great time.
I'm having a good time, with work and everything. The good thing with me, my scenery changes all the time, and I absolutely love it. So can't complain. Yeah. I think you would love it too.
So J.M. mentioned about our trailer because we have a 24-foot trailer
that's right,
with a side door. And I know you guys couldn't hear last night. Let me tell you, it would have been easier if we bought a side door trailer called the escape door. Because now I have to do the NASCAR thing, climbing out of the car every time I load it, which is not a big deal for me, but it is a big deal for some. Some folks just are not, they really don't want to do that. So,
right.
We should have bought that's an extra luxury. Let me say that. We didn't need it, but it would have been nice. And
we would have gotten it had we known, right? So do you all
Dana
have
asked a good question.
Do you all have a storage unit in Atlanta? Oh gosh, see him
Well,
shaking his head. Why did you have to ask that
I wish
question,
I hadn't brought that
Dana?
one up.
What do you do with all your paperwork stuff, your retirement papers, tax returns, other important documents? Now, as far as storage unit, we have 5 storage units in Atlanta. One of them is just my shoes only. I'll put that disclaimer out there.
Just don't even divulge all that. Lord have mercy.
And then as far as retirement paperwork and, important papers, we actually bring it with us.
Yeah, it's here in the, here in the bus.
We have that with us, and we lock it up here in the bus because we do have a safe in the bus. So we would lock those things up in the bus. Dana, to answer your question.
Ezra was with us last night as well, as many people were. Thank y'all for coming back so much.
Have you all ever been to Memphis? I have been to Memphis, Ezra. I used to live in Tennessee, as a matter of fact. I actually moved to Tennessee to be closer to my insurance brokers when I used to work at the Hartford in Connecticut. Yeah. And then I moved back to Connecticut. So I've been to Memphis. And
I've been through Memphis, but I'm going to come to Memphis because I want to see the Elvis Presley's mansion, his home.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley's birthday is the same day as mine, as I tell people all the time. His birthday is the same day as mine. Mine's not the same day as his because he's much older than me at the time. But anyway, I do want to get to Memphis to see the Elvis Presley.
Creative keeps you young.
I agree with you, Flyboy. Dave and I talk all the time. That's my twin brother, guys. Flyboy 21. So if you leave me a bad comment, you may have to deal with him, and of course Bell as well. Bell would jump on you in a hurry. I let stuff go because I'm a little bit more. Being a big city cop for 30 years, things just don't bother me when people, do that. I'm used to Chihuahuas barking, so I just sort of ignore it. But so David, you may have to deal with my brother there.
James Mason is saying, I have an older Tiffin gas RV and I love it. James said we loved our gas job as well. Yeah. The issue there that Daryl had with that gas job is where the gas tank was. Every time we went to put gas, it's in the back of the bus,
rear,
in the middle.
He probably knows that. I'm not sure what year you have, James, but it's back in the back.
And it's in the middle.
And this was a 38-foot coach.
Right.
It's like, the only thing I would tell Bob Tiffin in the crowd is put that fuel tank somewhere else, man. Put the fuel field somewhere else because that was tough. Competing with all those cars in all those tight spots.
Right.
One thing I love about the diesel, man, we rode into those truck stops and easy in and easy out. I just love that. But very good. I'm glad you enjoyed it because we actually went to see ours built in, and you may have seen that video in Expat. I appreciate that, man. We got some coming, buddy. Hang in there. Oh, Ryder, awesome.
I hope, Ryder, what's happening?
Okay, good question, Jersey John. Do you plan to buy a base camp? I've seen recent full-time YouTubers. Yep, Chad and Tara of Changing Lanes just bought a log cabin. And I'm not sure where. They had to go back and redo a video because they said they had released too much information. People knew where they were, and they started all that stuff. Yeah. So we don't have a security problem.
Yeah, we do eventually would, we're looking to get a base camp. Yeah. So, that's in the future.
Yeah. Good question.
What's best for your young person who wants to full-time RVing, a diesel Ford towing a 379? That's what we had, right?
Yep.
Versus a Tiffin.
What's best for a young person who wants to full-time RVing? Oh, a diesel Ford towing a Well, it depends. I'm going to tell you.
Basically what we had.
Yes, exactly. Our setup, and Andy and Bell can confirm, and many of you probably can confirm this. Our setup was the F-350 crew cab, dually we were 62 feet long, not much shorter than what we are now.
Right.
And those big fifth wheels has a tendency to track a little differently than our trailer does. It all depends. I would say if you're a very young person just starting out RVing, I'd get something smaller.
Yeah.
I love the F-350. Don't get me wrong. That's not the issue. But just having a 43-foot fifth wheel behind us, triple axle, was a lot to maneuver. There was a couple places, man. Let me tell you.
Very tight.
Yes. And I would say this. We get this RV in much tighter places than we could have got that one.
Yeah.
And I mean that sincerely, guys, even with the trailer, because of the 60-degree wheel cut on this Tiffin and the way that trailer tracks is different. So for a young person, I would just say, man, get whatever you're comfortable with. But, all right.
Elegant Lady said, your videos are executed excellently. Thank you very much, Elegant Lady. Are you a retired Leo?
I am a retired Leo from Atlanta Police. As I mentioned earlier, you may have heard that already. I'm behind on
What's
my
a
questions.
Leo?
Law enforcement officer.
Oh, okay.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, and from the city of Atlanta Police, and did 30 years there and had a great run.
If you're thinking of a Sprinter van, I suggest you check out
Van Wives on YouTube. I sure will. That's a good, yeah. I'll tell you this, Clay would not full time in a Sprinter. We could, be the occasional RVer, but she won't full time. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Some Josh is asking.
Yeah, we just cut. Okay, Josh
RV
says
for young people who want a full time. Ooh, the best RV for somebody who's young and want a full time. Now, remember when we were in Florida, we met that.
Yes.
Oh gosh, he was
a subscriber we did a video of the campground there.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, I'm in this campground."
Yeah. What was his name?
And he worked some evening shift at a plant.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't full time though, but he had a nice truck and a small short.
He had a Dodge Ram and a small, I can't remember, I think it's an Imagine or something like that. And it worked, he loved it and it worked well for him. And he said, he would recommend that to young people who wants to start out full timing. So maybe something like that. Start small and then
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Most importantly, Josh, is what you can afford. See, my philosophy has always been spend less than you make. At your wage, not necessarily your age, at your wage. So I tell young people, a lot of young folks contact us and say, "Hey, how did y'all get to where you are?" Yeah. Well, I didn't own a cell phone until I retired. I had a city cell phone.
Right.
I've always driven old cars. I wanted 20 years old. Our Hummer. People, you tow a Hummer behind you. It's an 07. It's 13 or 14 years old. Yeah. We just take care of our stuff. But I do not like debt, so we do have the bus, but we don't have a home payment right now either.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. So anyway, I would say, man, whatever you can afford, but I'd start a little small. I'd start smaller and build up. That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think the person who had this bus before us may have got something too large. And they got rid of it that quick. Yeah. It's either too small or too big for them, but it's probably too big.
And for us too, you have to remember, when we had the house, we didn't have a home payment. We paid the house off. So, and then, we decided to,
And Clay, one reason we pay the house off, guys.
Yeah.
And this is what the live stream is for, is for us to share with you a little bit, is that our house was probably smaller than most of the officers that in my agency. And I was a deputy chief. But I intentionally had a small house,
right?
That was very affordable and was able to pay it off, because I didn't listen. You don't, in Atlanta, you don't go buy a $500,000 house if you're making $80,000 as a cop. You just don't do it. I know some of my cops are going to jump in and say, "We ain't making $80,000," but you get the point. You know what I mean?
How difficult it is to find a campsite for your 70-foot.
Yep, and we've covered that. We actually have a video on that. Clay and Bell did a video on that.
Yeah.
So go take a look at that. But I will tell you, on our experience, it hasn't been difficult at all.
Yeah, it hasn't been difficult. And here's why it hasn't been difficult is we did our homework. So we knew we was going to come on this trip. And I think for anybody who's full-timing, you're literally we're already looking at campground for next year. So again, you do your homework from way back when. So by the time you get to, where you need to go, it's done.
And I will say this, sometimes we may not get the first RV park we wanted because of the size, but the second or third one usually comes available, and it's always in the area. Now, some people have asked, we don't typically want to count necessarily RV in the national parks. It's kind of tight and a little small and kind of sometimes hard to get in. Right. We have found, because we've been to National, Glacier National, Yellowstone, Carlsbad Caverns, Badlands, which is right down the street here. We find RV parks around the area, and we don't mind driving a little bit, because we're not going to get into those state parks, in national parks, which are great if you can do that. We just know that we can't.
Exactly.
So, but it's been actually pretty easy. We use Campedium, and did I say that right? Campedium.
Campedium.
Bill helps us out with that. So
keep going.
All right.
Road Glider right there.
Road Glider. Okay. Don't you organize
a ride in the Black Hills? Why don't you organize,
brother? Why don't you organize one? Man, that's a great idea. For folks who are coming out and do a meetup and a ride.
I do like that, Road Glider. That's a great idea.
Maybe you can help me out with that.
Yeah.
Tell me where you think we might want to ride, where we start from.
Yeah.
Where we ride and where we finish. Kind of like the blue ride that Bell does.
Yeah.
Let me throw that in there on Sunday. Bell, throw the date in here real quick. On Sunday, we do a blue ride for law enforcement and military
fallen
for PTSD this year.
Yeah.
So that's coming up on a Sunday. The rally starts on a Friday the 5th, 6th, or 7th, August 7th on the Blue Ride. So, and we'll finish up at Stonehouse Saloon, which is where we did our meetup last year. So Road Glider, hey, shoot me again, tallesonlife@gmail.com. Shoot me some ideas that you might have, and I would love to do something like that.
So I really appreciate your videos. I stumbled across you.
I love when people stumble across.
I stumbled across you all when you did your last week of work. Oh, that's your last
with the chief, I believe.
Yeah,
last year. And that video is doing well. I think a lot of people are just interested in seeing how Sturgis Police, along with Meade County Sheriff, I wish I could have got an interview with the sheriff. Yeah. How they pull this off out here. I mean, in the city of Sturgis.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're at 55. Do you want to keep going, or we can, answer some of these?
Let's see. I want to make sure we get some more questions here. Okay, I'm glad to hear our audio is very good. This DJ Central Oregon, good deal. Retired law enforcement. Hey, I'm glad you made it to retirement, my dear brother. It's very, very awesome. Would you let me meet you at Sturgis? DM me. Got you. Okay, I'll do that. I'll DM you. And we'll talk about trying to get together. Maybe you can help me out with this this ride in the Black Hills. It'd be awesome. Stephen, using cell service. Very good question, because we were talking about
we were talking about that.
Our problem here last night and even today is we're looking at Starlink so that we're not limited to, for the most part, shouldn't be limited. We are looking at that. There's some information about that.
So right now, what we have PepWave, and that has been good so far, but you do have some splotchy areas and so on and so forth. Sometimes, for the most part, we've had, good luck in the campgrounds, but of course you do get the campground that nothing works. And so, you're literally, I'm having to get on my hotspot or something like that, my phone hotspot,
or the PepWave Wi-Fi,
or the PepWave Wi-Fi. But
Verizon,
sometimes,
yeah.
So we're definitely looking at Starlink.
So James was asking this question, right? How long do we usually stay at a location? And typically at least 2 weeks, because if you've seen some of our videos, it's a lot to move all of this. So
and cost.
Now, if we stay for a day or two, man, we won't touch the car or the bike. We just roll in and catch our breath.
That's right.
And take back off.
Right.
But if we are here, so we try to stay at least 2 weeks minimum. And lately we've been, Oregon was a month, Washington was a month, Colorado will be a month. Here in the South Dakota area is about 2 months.
Yeah.
So we try to get somewhere if we enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong, I won't call the place, but Clay and I left one place early. Even though we were paid up, I said, we're going. Let's go. It's time to go. I've had enough of this. So, we rolled out early. So we will do that if we have to. So, look at Gilbert, man. Thank you very much, Gilbert. Thank you. Now, I know Sherman, too. He's, I love your videos. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So, I think we're at 57.
That's funny. But look, Clay. Look what's. So, that's bad. I love it. Oh my God, storage units. Oh. That's a good one right there.
Don't say that, expat. Please don't say that to him. Thank you.
Go to
Sun Record Studio.
Okay, in Memphis. Yep. Very good.
Thank you.
Love the content. Mark said, okay, appreciate that, Mark, very much. I agree to have a Tiffin cash. Yeah. Okay. Good. I see that we're not the only ones that didn't like where that gas.
Yeah.
For the fuel, for the gas job, where the fuel tank was.
Yeah. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
So we're at 58. I think 58 minutes in.
Clay. Do you hold on 1 second? Either of you guys ever come up to England Way? No.
To New England Way? Well, yeah. Well, I go up to New England by plane because my family is there.
In Connecticut.
So they're in Connecticut. Yeah.
Craig, that's a good question. We use Final Cut Pro for our editing. We use Final Cut Pro. I love that software. There's so many other ones that are out there. If you're just getting started, I would look at using iMovie for the Mac. If you're on a Mac, it's free. Comes with a computer. If not, you can still typically download it for free. If you're on a PC, it's Movie Maker. At least I haven't been on a PC in a while. That's what it used to be. And it was free. So I would encourage you to always use the free stuff until you maximize it. Right. And then purchase the stuff that costs a little bit of money. And I love Final Cut Pro. I've not begun to touch all the things that Final Cut Pro can do. All right. So I love you guys and the content. Thank you very, very much. That's the Hell Team. Thank you very much, Hell Team. I appreciate that, man. That is very, very nice. Very nice of you.
Okay, so you working?
This is Bell's Rides on the blue ride. I like that. Thank you, Bell. Kickstand's up at 11. And Bell, you may have mentioned in the chat here.
Right here, August 2nd.
That there you go, August 7th. I was correct. Okay, and Kickstand's up. Now I don't know if Bell mentioned where we will be. We're at the Deluxe Harley Davidson dealership in Sundance.
In Sundance, Wyoming.
Sundance, Wyoming. Yep. That's where the ride will begin.
Yeah, so we're in Spearfish right now, and that is literally from us. It's what, about 15, 20 minutes up the street?
Yeah, it's not far. Not far at all.
It's about 20 minutes up the street. From Sturgis, it's going to be about 40, 50 miles.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
In fact, Deluxe Harley Davidson, I took my Harley in because I'm traveling full time. I can't do all the maintenance. Even though I changed the oil in the trailer, but I couldn't change I didn't want to fool with the clutch and the brake fluid to change those out. I took it to Deluxe. They got me right in and took great care of me. And I mean that sincerely. For a pretty decent price. No, I'm not working the rally, my friend. I'm going to be enjoying the rally, but I'm not going to be working it at all. No.
Drew, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Drew. I hope that's coming up, man.
No, I don't know if it is.
Well, we don't. We think so.
Right there, Jersey John.
Jersey John, that's a real good question.
On your travel and specific areas, themes next year. That's a good question.
Well, I tell you, Jersey John, we're always looking, to create things because that's what we sort of do. We just sit around and talk about these things and think about what would be on our trip, what would be interesting for somebody to watch. So yes, right. I'm sure we'll be doing that. We just need to wait and see when we get there. Because like I say now, I mean, there's some campgrounds, for example, RV parks that we just won't do a review on.
Yeah.
Because we don't think it'd be interesting. So I mean, sometimes you need to see a review on a bad campground or RV park.
I think we should just review campgrounds, so we can tell you, no, don't come here, or yes, this is a great place to be.
Okay, I love this question here that Hell Team mentioned. Why the BMW? Seems excessive. Maybe a smaller car.
Oh my gosh! Don't look at me,
brother. I can't agree with you more. I had us a Ford Escape picked out. And this one says, no, I'll show you what we're going to get before we hit the road. And she went and got it. So, yeah, I agree with you, though, by the way. Because I'm going to tell you what BMW stands for when it comes time to repair. Bring money with you, okay? Bring money with you.
Oh, jeez.
All right, let's see. See, anything else we need to cover?
Somebody asked a question here. Go back up.
Where?
Does Clay ride or have? Does Clay ride or have her own bike? Well, let me put it to you this way: I do have my license, and
you went to a motorcycle school, went to Harley Davidson motorcycle school, and everything.
With my instructor here, but my instructor said to me basically that he was going to, get me an old Honda bike, right? What was it?
A Rebel 250 for you to go work with in the
to practice on, and so 2 or 3 bikes in our garage later, one including a big dog canine. I'm like, okay, where is my bike? And the answer to that was, you look better behind me.
Well, yeah.
To answer your question,
first of all,
I ride on his bike.
Yes, and which I feel more comfortable with. In fact, the other night coming home from Deadwood, we almost hit a deer. I mean, it was just starting to get dark. We always try to get home on the bikes out here. 1/3 of accidents in South Dakota is wildlife related.
Right.
That's a lot. And we were coming home with Bell and Andy from Deadwood, and a deer. I saw him coming, so I was already on those anti-lock brakes hard as we were getting on the on-ramp. So, when you get on the on-ramp, sometimes you kind of throttled up because you're about to merge. And I saw him coming, and he was not going toward the interstate. He was coming toward us, and we missed him by 3 or 4 feet. Now,
that's true.
My point being, though, is Clay didn't tell y'all she's only about 4'9". So, and weighs literally, if you don't mind me telling you weighs about 100 pounds. So her on a motorcycle is not like Belle, who's about 5'10" and, can handle a big bike. anyway, so I have concerns about Clay. Clay did fine on that little 500 though in the Harley-Davidson class, no doubt. But I'm a little bit concerned about her riding by herself. That's all.
So, do you work remotely?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I work full-time, remotely full-time, and Daryl is retired. So just me, I'm still working remotely and would be doing so for quite a while.
Yeah.
What's
Bill saying?
The offer from Steve.
So I must have already missed that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Right there.
Central Texas here.
Got a place for you to stay.
I know you do. I know you do, man. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. I sure appreciate it.
Love that.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Steve, yeah, that is. Oh gosh, he would love that. He can that way he can wear his cowboy boots because he thinks he is. Who are you from? Yellowstone. He's red.
Well, I'm also John Dutton. You know, I'm a little bit of both.
Dutton.
In fact, my cowboy hat's back in the back. I think you may have it blocked. No, there it is, right there. There it is, right there. So there's a couple of things, guys. Stephen, let me share this with you. There's a couple of things that people say you'll want to be biker, right? And I rarely use that word. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. Even though I made a living on a motorcycle for a very long time, I'm a motorcycle instructor. I'm always doing motorcycle stuff. I won't call myself a biker. So I'm not a wannabe biker. If I go fishing, people call you a fisherman, but I'm not a wannabe fisherman. I am a wannabe cowboy. I will admit that. I am a wannabe cowboy. And when there's times you can tell that I'm a wannabe cowboy.
So I will tell you guys a quick story about Daryl and his brother Flyboy, who you guys have seen on here. Every time Yellowstone comes on, these two would put on their cowboy boots, their cowboy hats, have their Coors Light beer, and would take pictures and send to each other, getting ready, showing each other that we're getting ready for Yellowstone. So that's your wannabe cowboy over here.
That's crazy. All right, what do we got here? That looks like something that maybe we don't need to post.
Yeah. So I think, is that it?
I'm looking here, guys. Bear with me.
I ride a Goldwing DC.
Where?
Right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
DJ 10.
I ride a Goldwing DCT. Have you tried one? Now I've owned two Goldwings. I don't know what a DTC is because I've been out of the Goldwing. DCT. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's the one without the tour pack on the back. I'm not sure, but I've had two Goldwings. Man, listen, I don't care what you ride. I mean, I'm a Harley Davidson guy. I love American-made bikes. Indian. I've owned big dog choppers, so I love American-made. But I don't care what you ride. People ask me all the time, "Hey, come ride with me." I don't care if it's a Goldwing, Kawasaki, Moto Guzzi, which I love, and Triumph, love. In fact, I went to the motorcycle museum here in Sturgis, and I'll show you some of that on another video. Yeah. So no, I love Goldwings, man. I love all bikes. Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, he wants to get another Goldwing. He wants to get another bike, and it be in a Goldwing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, it's hard to beat, in my opinion. Yeah. So, okay. Let's see if we skip guys. We just checking through something in Bill's rides. I was so afraid they would jump out.
Stop telling secrets, Clay.
Stop telling. Oh, okay. All right, Flyboy. Yes, indeed.
Funny.
All right.
Buenos dias. Buenos tardes, amigos.
Oh, no clutch on that Goldwing. Wow.
Oh,
wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cesar?
Who?
Cesar.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hola, Cesar.
You know, I'm gonna. Can you understand that?
He's saying good afternoon.
Okay, because
good afternoon, my friends.
Good afternoon. What I do when folks send me in their native language, I will go to translation on Google and enter my response back to them and post it back in their language. So I don't know, I don't know that yet, but I will certainly go back and look at it. So thank you very much.
He said he was a
motor officer and was a trainer. Yeah, went through the California Chip. Okay, a Chippy here. Kind of 1988. We rode Kawasaki. You know what? We rode when I first went to Atlanta Police Motorcycle Squad in early 1994. We were on FXRPs. Loved that bike. My first Harley I'd ever ridden. I just loved it. Then we went to the Kawasaki's, just like probably like you guys had at the time. The Chips motorcycles, right? The Kawasaki's. And then, of course, I promoted up out of the motor squad. I sort of had to. They won't let majors and chiefs be a motorman. As a lieutenant, I was, but I skipped captain. I was promoted over to captain. And so I had to leave motors, long story short, which was still my best assignment. Now they've all gone back to Harley Davidson over there at the motor squad in Atlanta Police. And I'm so envious. In fact, they've been with motors for quite a while. Been with Harleys for quite a while. And Look great, man. Look great. But I was saying, those Kawasaki's, though, were quick, agile. We jumped sidewalks. We jumped cliffs. I mean, those things were,
Jeez.
yeah, they were very light and agile. No question about that.
You can make wheels, right? Okay.
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
are
Oh,
Spans.
Flyboy's talking about the Kawasaki's. We had 1,000 kz. That's
Yeah.
probably what, David, that's Flyboy. That's probably what California, I think California had as well. I mean, that's what the TV show came from, for crying out loud. So
you said from Kawasaki to BMW is what they went from.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. You know, as an instructor, as a police instructor, as a police motorcycle instructor, we had to learn we had to ride every motorcycle that had a police package, including the BMW. Because if you had a student that said, well, they know this Kawasaki or this Harley or this Beamer, it won't make that turn. We had to get on the bike and say, oh, yes, it will. Let me show you. So I went through many courses with BMWs, and man, I tell you, I'm loving those. I don't even know what you call them. It's the all-terrain.
Oh, geez.
Like kind of like the Pan America that Harley Davidson has, but that one where you can ride all kind of dirt roads and everything else on it. I mean, I'm liking that. Yeah. What?
So Jersey John said he has a scooter.
Hey, nothing wrong. Gets 85 miles a gallon. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Our Harleys average.
Oh, geez.
It depends how much throttle we have and the wind and everything else. And it depends where you are in the stack. But our Harleys average around 45 to 50 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I've got friends who ride way back in the back, and they're bragging about how many miles a gallon they're getting. Well, David and I'll be up in the front cutting all that wind for them, and they're in the draft.
Yeah.
So I keep telling them, you keep that up, I'm going to ride in the back, and you come up here in the front and cut some of this wind and let me get 55, 60 miles a gallon. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And if those guys are on here, this channel, they know who I'm talking about.
So George is asking, can you tell me how challenging the transition from fifth wheel to diesel pusher was?
It wasn't bad at all, guys. I mean, and I will tell you this, and I mean this sincerely, and I say it as a joke. When we see a big fifth wheel like that just pulled in beside us, a big momentum, just like ours, triple axle, just like maybe a 397, my heart goes, man, good luck, but I hope you're enjoying it. Because we enjoyed ours. It's just so long in the way it tracked compared to what we have now. So my point being, though, and it's a very good question, the transition was not hard at all. It's been very enjoyable, and no complaints whatsoever on that. Mm-hmm.
So that one. So you said we weren't allowed to use brakes in the Motor Academy. I see a lot of Harley guys dragging the rear brakes.
And I still do that. And I've seen guys make it through those courses without any brakes. That friction zone has got to be even more special between the clutch, throttle, and the brake. If you don't have a brake, it's tough. It's tough. Man, my hat's off to you. Yeah, that's very, very tough. Dual clutch transmission, automatic shifting. Man, that's cool. I didn't know that. I don't think I knew that. Okay.
That's what DTC stands
all right.
for. DTC.
There's more spam coming in, guys.
All right.
Bossy is watching you on the big TV. That is.
Hi, Bossy.
Yeah. Oh, that dog just is amazing.
That's an amazing.
Okay, guys. I mean, we've got 151 people watching, but we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. So I appreciate the engagement. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. And guys, as a way, I said this last night, and I know some of you heard and some of you may not have heard. So as a way of saying thank you, we really appreciate you guys. We love you guys. As a way of saying thank you and giving back to you guys, we would like to do a $100 Amazon gift card to gift it to one of you all. So we have two qualifications to get this gift card. One is number one, to be a subscriber. Yep. And then the second one is just to leave a comment about your favorite thing about Tellison Life channel. Yeah. That's the only two requirements we have. So we would announce the winner in
an upcoming
video. But that's one. And so I will take this a little further. I would do a second winner for $100 Amazon gift card. So two winners for Amazon gift card. And again, it's just a way of saying thank you guys so much. We love you guys. We really appreciate you. Without you, there would be no us. So again, thank you. So
to be clear, leave a comment in the chat, or if you're watching this on the repeat, a comment down below.
Yep. And about what? About your favorite thing about the Tellison Life channel. Yeah. Right? And then you have to be a subscriber. So those are the two requirements.
Thank you all for joining us here on this live chat, and on the repeat. If you're still with us on the repeat, Thank you for looking at watching the live stream. We've really enjoyed it. Thanks for putting up with us last night. And we hope to see you guys. We'll be communicating with you guys who are out here in the South Dakota area and coordinate with you. Be looking for possibly another live video very soon related to the ride that we mentioned earlier through the Iron Mountain. Remember, that ride is not just for motorcycles only. If you've never been out here, you might want to see that. That's good. That's an incredible, scenic ride. Automobile, dune buggy, motorcycle, Can-Am, trike, whatever you're riding, or driving, you'll like that. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. I'm working with Bill and Andy on it. We're not exactly sure. It's going to depend on the editing and their schedule because they're about to go to Wisconsin for the bagger race. Yep. And then they're coming
to Minnesota.
Back. So Minnesota, is that where it is? Minnesota. Okay, guys, thank you very much. We're going to sign off from here. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Until then, be well
and stay safe.